So at that particular meeting that I was privileged to be at up there at Thousand Trails, there was a number of people who had a number of questions about this, but it seemed to me that it all boiled down to what are you going to make me do type thing. If my system fails, or if I have and especially a lot of it was about the wetlands, where they have allowed people to buy these properties, and then now they can't build on them, or if they have built on them, they have to do certain things. So what's the bottom line here? What are we looking at? Are we looking at a one-size-fits-all, or are you recommending that we look at each thing individually?
Okay, so
sorry about that.
I'll just answer that in a couple seconds here.
Okay.
So for me, there's three major recommendations that we have, and one is a Goal 11 exception. And then one is groundwater monitoring, and one is some kind of governance entity. We're looking at a sanitation authority. And so let me go back to Goal 11 exception. So right now, because we live in a rural area and because Oregon has land use rules, there's a land use rule called Goal 11, which doesn't allow the use of community systems in rural areas. And so what we want to do is get an exception so that we can put in community systems. Because
these are small systems just for general, like small areas?
Well, so a sewer system, a big pipe sewer system would be a community system. Mm-hmm. Or it could be a neighborhood gets together and says, instead of putting in individual systems, if we pool our money, we'll be able to get a loan that we'll be able to finance it over time instead of doing it all at once. We want to put in some kind of a community system, and but right now we can't do that. So the only solution we have is on-site systems, which then leads us to ATT systems, which aren't really that great. They cost a lot of money, and they really aren't effective in highly dense areas. And so we need this Goal 11 exception. And the way they platted the lots around here, they platted lots. Where I live, we're R10, so we're a 10-acre. We're supposed to have 10-acre lots, mm-hmm. But there are places that are on 1 acre, even half-acre lots, and so the density really is more urban density. But because we're rural, we are under the land use rule about the Goal 11 exception. So we need the Goal 11, and so we need a Goal 11 exception that will allow us to hook people together and treat the effluent as a centralized.
Right.
Although I'm definitely not saying a sewer for the whole area. We're talking about neighborhood systems, whatever makes sense. And with a Goal 11 exception, then the community can decide how big of a system is required for a certain area or not. So it's really about giving us the freedom to make some better choices than we have right now. And so the Goal 11 exception is a really key recommendation.